Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A dramatic rescue in downtown Detroit. Local 4 cameras roll as firefighters use the jaws of life to free a driver trapped after a crash. Kevin.
The city of Albion slapped with a $10 million lawsuit in the police beating of a 13-year-old teenager who had his hands cuffed behind his back. The story is coming up.
But we're going to begin here at 5 with breaking news involving the evening commute. Right now, all westbound lanes of I-96 are closed at Telegraph because of a police situation. This is the scene live from Sky 4. State police right now are focused on two cars that are pulled over to the side of the road. We can see from the air that the driver's side window of one of the cars has been shattered. We are working to get more information on exactly what has led to all this, but serious enough, obviously, for the police to shut down half of I-96 at this hour. We'll keep an eye on it and keep you advised, but if that is part of your afternoon drive plans, you might want to make alternate plans for getting around it.
Also topping the news at 5, state police raid the home of Macomb County prosecutor Eric Smith, spending hours inside and focusing on some very specific items on the exterior as well. So the big question everyone is asking tonight is, what were they looking for?
Yeah, state police will only say this was connected, indeed, to the investigation of the use of county forfeiture money. We bring in Rod Maloney, who is live with what Smith's had to say about it. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, this is the house, Eric Smith's house, pool slide back here. About 8 o'clock this morning, the officers from the Special Investigative Unit came out with a subpoena, and they knocked on the door. They told the prosecutor they were going to be coming and serving this search warrant. They gave the family enough time to pack his wife and children up. They went to a neighbor's house and then the children off to school. The prosecutor himself stayed in the house as investigators started pulling things out. Half a dozen Michigan State Police detectives and technicians came with aluminum ladders, drills, and cameras. They dismantled the security system in the home, cameras, and even the yards and yards of blue digital cable connected to a computer. MSP Lieutenant Darren Green saying of such deconstruction,
all I can say is that obviously it's going to be tied to the investigation that is ongoing.
So we know a security system has their attention. They're not saying specifically what else. But it's the second time in a month MSP investigators have started digging into the prosecutor's forfeiture fund. They seized records in Smith's Mount Clemens office, wanting to know where the money went and whether it went to county and police-related expenses or into his own pocket. At the time, he commented,
I recognize that, this doesn't look great.
And welcomed the MSP's involvement. After the raid today, he put out this statement, quote, my family and I complied with their request and cooperated fully, as I promised to do from the beginning of this process. I will continue to cooperate fully and supply the state police with any information they need to conclude their investigation, end quote. Macomb County Commissioner Leon Drolet is the guy who asked for the original forensic audit that brought the MSP in.
Government officials, even those in law enforcement, are not above the law. I find that to be a reassuring sign. I'd rather have no laws being broken, obviously. That'd be preferable. But if there is a law being broken, and from what I've seen there's evidence of that, then we need a very serious investigation.
Now, Drolet is talking about the fact that he had to go to a judge to get the checks from these 4 accounts released. He's been through all of them, and he says there are a lot of questions about what this money was spent on. We should also point out that in order to have this search warrant, there had to be secondary probable cause. In other words, they couldn't use the probable cause to get the search warrant at his office. They needed another one, go before another judge to be able to execute this one today. Clearly, a judge thought there was probable cause and signed off on the search warrant. Back to you.
Now, Rod, you mentioned Commissioner Drolet first asking for help. How did the case, though, against the prosecutor get this far?
Well, it's taken a while, Devin, but he went to the treasurer. The treasurer complained to Smith about these funds. He wanted control over them because he claims he was supposed to. That ended up going before a judge. But then Mark Hackel, the county executive, wrote a letter not only to the Attorney General's office, but to the FBI, saying we need somebody to look into this. And so the MSP, at the Attorney General's behest, took over the investigation. And I was told today that the FBI is watching very closely.
Yeah. All right, Rod. Kim.
Well, police say they were just sitting in a car in a driveway late last night when someone pulled up and started shooting. When the shots stopped, one woman was dead and 2 others were injured at the home on Guilford Street, right near Cadue and East Warren. Our Coco McAvoy spoke to a neighbor who heard the shots.
A woman was shot and killed here on Guilford Street in this neighborhood on Detroit's east side, and the community wants answers. A triple shooting on Detroit's east side last night injured 2 men and killed a 24-year-old woman.
I got goosebumps because I know a lot of people around here.
Peggy Bates lives in the neighborhood and heard the gunshots last night at 11:30.
I have a hard time hearing, but I sure heard those, and they echoed in between the houses.
Police say the 3 victims were sitting in a car along Guilford Street when a person driving a black car started shooting at them.
But it scares me. I can't even go out to my car at night to go to the store in fear of who's going to see me and who's going to shoot me.
Bates and other neighbors are tired of the violence.
It's like, what are we going to do about it? I don't want to live my life like that, but I love my city.
She wants the shooter arrested.
We'll just see what happens.
And police really need leads in this case. If you know anything about what happened, you're asked to call the Detroit Police Department. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
Okay, Coco, intense moments downtown this morning following a car crash as a car hit a DDOT bus around 9 a.m. This was the scene at Fort and Trumbull. Detroit firefighters had to use the jaws of life to rescue one of the passengers from that car. We await word on the extent of the injuries, and they are still investigating exactly which vehicle might have been at fault.
All right, well, look at this. We've got a brand new Skycam. Yeah, just in time for the Grand Prix, too.
Live at our Belle Isle Skycam is crews, of course, working to get ready for the duel coming up in Detroit. The action begins May 31st. And happy to tell you this year, Local 4 is your only home for complete coverage from start to exciting finish. How about that? Yeah. And what a great shot there, because one of the things you saw there was this beautiful day.
That's right. A lot of sun. Temperatures are on the rise, too. Let's get over to Ben. It finally feels like we've turned the corner here, Ben.
Yeah, guys, huge improvement over what we saw yesterday. We're pushing 70 in a couple spots. Lapeer's at 69, Port Huron 68. Grosse Ile, one of the cool spots right now at 63, but big difference from yesterday. In fact, 10 to 20 degrees warmer than what we were looking at yesterday. And of course, you add in that sunshine and it makes all the difference in how it feels compared to what we had yesterday. So numbers may be touching 70 here by 6 p.m., but we are going to be falling into the 50s by midnight and some 40s tonight. So another cool one, just not quite as chilly as what we woke up to this morning. We'll see if we can keep it going through the weekend and also when the rain chances return. All those answers in just a few minutes. Guys?
Ben, tonight we are learning a lot more about a string of robberies and carjackings at 2 Detroit schools. Detroit police now believe the same crew was responsible for 4 armed attacks in the span of an hour and a half yesterday morning. This all happened on Detroit's west side. Larry Spruill takes us step-by-step through what happened as police put out the call for new leads in the case.
There were 4 incidents that span across the west side of the city between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m.
And Detroit police believe 2 men are behind all 4 robberies and carjackings. I first reported Monday about 2 carjackings and robberies at 2 schools early Monday morning. Police say 2 women were sitting inside their cars when they were held at gunpoint. Police first believed it was 4 suspects, but later learned 2 were not involved.
The suspects, a 28-year-old and a 31-year-old male, were located in the area of Trinity and Joy and taken into custody without incident.
Tuesday, we learned there were more victims. So here's the timeline. 4 carjackings, robberies in just an hour and a half. Police say at 8:30 Monday morning, 2 suspects attempted to rob a 64-year-old male of his vehicle at the intersection of Rutland and Plymouth. Then at 9:15, a female was held at gunpoint at the Charles R. Drew Transition Center on Wyoming. Just 30 minutes after that, a 34-year-old female was carjacked in the parking lot of McKenzie Elementary Middle School. And the last one happened at 10 a.m. at a shopping center on Joy Road. A man was walking back to his vehicle when the 2 suspects robbed him.
Police say in all 4 of the incidents, the suspect simply opened up the door with the victim inside, and naturally you want to fight back, but police say that's not always the right thing to do.
We would prefer that you're professional witnesses for us and not engage perpetrators and give us the information that we need.
Reporting on the west side, Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Larry, police tell us they are investigating to see if 2 are behind the other carjackings in the area, because this case is now being turned over to the prosecutor's office.
Former Macomb County Clerk Karen Spranger made a brief appearance in a Warren courtroom today. Spranger faces charges that she made illegal bank withdrawals for a friend she was taking care of. Today's hearing was adjourned and rescheduled for the end of the month. There were accusations Spranger also assaulted the woman, but so far no assault charges have been filed.
So off and running here on a Tuesday. Here's Jason Colthorpe.
One of the military's highest honors handed out today. We'll tell you who it was given to, his story, and his message to other soldiers.
And what a woman found on her husband's phone that left her no choice but to turn him into police. Kevin.
The defenders first showed you the video of a 13-year-old with his hands cuffed behind his back being punched by a police officer from Albion.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Now that officer has been slapped with a $10 million lawsuit. The story is next.
All right, Kevin, if you're just joining us, we are following breaking news along I-96. The westbound lanes at Telegraph are closed because of this police situation. State police focusing on these two cars that they pulled over to the side of the road. As we mentioned earlier, we can see that the driver's side window on one of those vehicles is shattered. We continue to try to learn more about exactly what has police so concerned. But again, the westbound lanes shut down at this hour. Keep it here. We'll keep you advised.